Sirlene, the building certainly speaks well for Auburn.
It's a beautiful building. It was designed by Patton and Miller out of Chicago, which was from the Prairie School of Architecture, which was Frank Lloyd Wright. As you can see, the buttresses come out at the side, and then the limestone, the white limestone, that's Indiana limestone. The brick is salt glazed brick, which is impossible to get any longer. The windows, of course, were all designed specifically for this library.
The building was built in what year?
It was built in 1910, actually completed in 1911. And at the dedication ceremonies, when the cornerstone was laid, they had Governor Marshall come from Indianapolis. He was governor. He was friend of Mr. Link, who was here in town at the time, Marshall Link. And he came for his family, and so he came up as a personal friend. So it was a big affair. All the children were let out in school, and the orchestra played, and the big dedication. In fact, we had a rededication ceremony here, celebrating our 75th year, and reenacted this cornerstone laying.
I remember that. Yes, that was fun. The last thing you wanted to show us is behind the library, and that being the fountain. So we'll travel behind there now.
All right.
Okay, Sirlene, this is the fountain that you were referring to earlier, and also I have the question. You talked about that the library is put on the front two lots.
Yes.
And then this was another park.
Yes, this was called Wesley Park, and it was named after the man who originated Auburn. Wesley Park established Auburn, and so it was a park in his name. And it's two lots. At the time it was a park, there was a path running through here. This was blacktop later on. The library did that.
Well, now, when was the fountain then placed in here?
Well, we've determined that it must have been around 1916. Charles Eckhart and his sons were headed toward New York, and they stopped in Pennsylvania and actually purchased this from an ironworks. That's the only history that I can find on it. And then the boys at the top, there's two figures, and they're struggling with the goose. And we have no history on that, except that it was might have depicted some story or some fairy tale, but I don't know what. And when the fountain is in action, or when it's working, then the water comes from the gargoyle's mouth. If you can see the gargoyles at the top, it drips from those, or spewts from those, and it comes down to the second layer, and then that also does the same. It's a recycling fountain.
All right. Well, Sirlene, we want to thank you from TV7, and we hope to see you after you've retired, after you've come back from your trip, and have a good retirement.
Thank you very much.